Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale Podcast. I am your host today, Coach Jolie, and today I'm joined with Coach Brande. And we have a fun topic today. We're chatting all things community here at Legacy. We've got some fun, exciting updates. But first, we want to give a shout out to a member of the week. Want to shout out Tracy Sorsey this week. Brande, you wanna take
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Tracy Sorsey is incredible. Like many of our members, all of our members are incredible, but Tracy has just been super consistent with our workouts. We've just wrapped up our strength block for the past 4 weeks, and I have seen some tremendous growth from Tracy Sorsey. She's doing more challenging lifts. She's been able to increase the amount of weight that she's been lifting in several of the different lifts that she's been doing. She's showing up. Her consistency has been on point, and she just has the best attitude when she's doing her workout and challenges herself and pushes herself. And when the coaches are pushing her, she's like, all right, I'll try that.
Yeah.
And I've seen her confidence grow, and that's been really special to see as well.
Yeah.
So
It's always
Tracy, you're amazing.
Yeah, big shout outs. I love it. It's been fun to coach her on Fridays usually, and just to see the look on her face when she's able to lift heavier and just do more. And she's like, yeah, we adopted a dog, and I think she said he's like 50 or 60 pounds. It used to be so hard to walk, and she's like, now it's like nothing. It's like it's more fun for me because I've gotten stronger. So
Yeah.
it's always fun to hear like the real life, just how it relates to real life instances. So
Yeah, she's doing incredible.
yeah, way to go, Tracy. Awesome. So let's dive into our topic today. We are chatting about community, a like-minded community in the gym, outside the gym, and what kind of sparked this topic for us today is Brandy's role here. Brandy's been here. Have you been here about 6 years, 5 years?
5 years.
Okay.
5 years.
So a long time.
Uh-huh.
And her role here has evolved in kind of a really cool way because Brandy's actually been putting on some events. She's going to be hosting some workshops and really just helping our members to just feel like they are part of a community more so than when they're just walking into the gym, like understanding that it's not just workouts that they're doing here,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so there's so much value that a like-minded community holds, and we just really wanted to touch on that for people today in a few different ways. And I think one of them is a couple weeks ago, Brandy, you held our first event, our first community event that we've held in a while here, and it was a hike.
Mhm.
And how did that go?
It was great. We had a wonderful turnout, and it was so nice to see people who have been training at the gym together, and they may or may not have known each other before the hike. Some of them did, some of them didn't, but they all are a part of Legacy, and they showed up to that hike, and we bonded over that. It's
Over donuts too.
over donuts and over, hiking up, a challenge. People bond over challenges together.
Yeah.
It was a challenging hike, and it was great to just bring everyone together to get to know each other outside of the gym. And that relationship building was really great. And for people to get connected with each other who, we have something in common. Our health is important. Everyone who was there is going to Legacy. And so being able to bond in that way was just really, really great. And I know everyone was excited about, okay, when's the next one? We want to do this again. So we're going to be planning more hikes, more meetups and social events, and then doing some things, like you said, Jolie, some educational workshops as well that will bring people together in a sense of community. And it's just really, really important. My goal is for Legacy to be a place that people come to work out, but they stay because they've built a community, or that community has wrapped themselves around them,
Yeah.
and they feel that sense of belonging.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you really hit on it where it's our members here, like living in Arizona, like there is that common interest that most people have of like hiking, being outdoors, obviously being fit and working out, right? And I think it's that social connection that helps to create a bond over, just similar things that we like to do together and being able to come together. And it's like you said, some of these people work out in the morning, work out in the afternoon,
Right.
they're meeting up for a hike, things like that. And so it's really cool to see people come together.
Yeah.
And you and I were just talking a little bit before we were recording about just how social connection is a really big indicator for longevity. And we're
Yes.
both like, well, obviously that makes sense. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, one of the strongest predictors of a long and healthy lifestyle, of course, exercise and nutrition are very important, but one of the top five key indicators is social connection. So, people who feel like they have that social connection, relationships, bond with other people live a longer, healthier life. And I think, it may seem obvious, but in some ways, but in other ways, it's something that I think people forget about, but it is really important to have that social connection. And I thought, I was looking up some key health statistics related to social connection. So I would love to share those because
Yeah.
these may be surprising for people, but it's really important. So I thought this one was interesting. Social isolation has been compared to smoking 15 cigarettes per day and its impact on health.
I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yes. It can have that much of that isolation
Yeah.
can have that much of a negative impact on longevity. So if we're able to connect people, build relationships, they feel bonded, they feel like legacy is part of their community, a place that they have meaning and belonging, then they're going to be much more likely to live a long and healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Like people know when they're walking through these doors that people need to understand when you're walking through these doors, whether you love working out or you hate working out, but you know it's good for you. It's knowing that you're part of a place, part of a gym and a community that the people here understand like, okay, health matters, like this stuff matters. And I need to care about my health in order to be able to hike or keep up with my kids or be able to just like get in and out of my car like comfortably, right? Like there's so many
Right.
pieces of that that are so
Right.
important. And yeah, I did not know that about the smoking statistic. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have more that?
I thought that was very interesting. I also found, social connection is linked to, many different health aspects, lower stress levels. So if you feel more connected with a community, you tend to have less stress, or you're able to deal with stress in a way that doesn't feel as impactful.
Mm.
A better immune function. So I thought it was, fascinating that your immune system is related and connected to social connectedness and belonging. Also, lower risk of heart disease.
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard that one. Had you ever seen or read there's a book and then they made it into a Netflix series about blue zones, about the
Yes.
common
Yes.
um the longest life expectancy, and I forget the top place. I believe there are a couple of these places in like hotspots around the
Yes.
world. One of them's
Italy.
California, Italy, I believe Asia. There are just all
Hmm.
these places, and one of the biggest connectors or commonalities, if you will, of
Yes.
all these places was that social connection of whether it was friends or family. It was these people were walking every day, obviously,
Yes.
but they were also seeing their friends and family every day and just having people around them that were just acting as that support. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's so important. And you want to surround yourself by people who have similar values. And if health and, longevity and being able to do things, the things that you want as you age, like living an active lifestyle, whether that's traveling, hanging out with your grandkids, going on adventures as you age, if you surround yourself with other like minded people that are interested in doing those same things, then that's just going to make it that much easier for you to, really lean into that and really identify as someone who is healthy, as someone who is active, because your friends are that way. Your community supports you in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being able to believe that, I think is a big indicator of health
Mhm.
too, of like I am a person who prioritizes my health. I am a person who makes it to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week. Like I know that my coaches will miss me if I'm not there, right? And so
Right.
we're watching, and the people who even work out at the same hour as you, even if you're not talking to them, like people notice when you're not here, especially there's some hours here where people are working out and a little tighter knit than others, if you will, where people will converse a little bit more and things like that. So
Yep.
there is that community aspect.
Yes.
And even if I've mentioned to people, yeah, people are on your hour, we're asking about you. And they're like, oh, I didn't even know. And that also sparks friendships and conversations when people return. And
Yes.
it's really cool to see.
It's so nice to see how organically the community has grown inside Legacy. If you look at our members who have been here the longest, one common thread that I see is that it's those people who have developed those friendships and relationships and that bond with the other people that they train alongside day after day. We have members who are here, some of them 5, 6 days a week. They come around the same time every single day.
Yeah.
They develop those relationships. And when you have a relationship with someone who you know is going to be at the gym the same time you are, you're more likely to be consistent. You're more likely to show up for your workout. And if you don't show up, you're missed. And maybe your coach sends you a message asking, hey, where were you? Or maybe your friend that you train alongside sends a message asking, where were you? I missed you today. And that's so important because if you feel that motivation from your friends and your coaches and the people that you're working out alongside, then you're more likely to be consistent. And consistency is key in seeing results with your workout. And it's not just about the results that you're getting in the
Right.
gym. That's really important as well. But it's that consistency in developing this habit
Process along the
right,
way.
as something that you'll do throughout your entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of what you're talking about too is how humans, we naturally mirror the behavior of people around us. And so I believe it's called social modeling in
Mhm.
like a psychological term where, you're noticing people around you. A good example of this is obviously the gym, but let's say you're going out to dinner with a group of friends, and these friends might be people who tend to eat healthier, and maybe you're a person who doesn't always make healthy choices, or you're like, whatever, I'm gonna go for like the fried sandwich. And you notice everyone around the table is ordering either like, I don't know, the salad, or it's just something a little bit healthier, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
And that, just by witnessing their behavior, it makes you a little bit more aware, self-aware of, well, what am I ordering? Okay, maybe I could try something different, or oh, that's interesting. Everyone around me is making this choice, and you start to second guess things in a healthy way, right? And so I think
Yeah.
that's important to notice too.
Yes, I don't remember the exact quote, but I think it's something along the lines of, "You are the culmination of, like, the 5
Yes.
people that you surround yourself with."
Yeah.
So, look around. Who are you hanging out with? Who are your friends? Like, you are the culmination of those people, and if you're in a friend group or a social community where you're like, I'm not maybe I've outgrown this," or maybe it's not supporting kind of the healthy habits that I want for my life, then, look for those friendships, those relationships, that community that does support that healthy lifestyle and, kind of that person that you're striving to be. And then, I know that we have amazing people here that are training at Legacy and you can develop those bonds and those relationships and those friendships within the community at Legacy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, our mission here is overall to integrate fitness into your lifestyle, but also just wellness, health, community, that sense of community overall into your lifestyle. Like when you walk through these doors, you're walking in towards a community of people who care about, again, not just your success, but like that process that we talked about in the journey along the way, right?
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be days and weeks and sometimes just longer periods of time where like you need to lean on that support, and we're here for you for that. Our coaches are here for you for that, and we're excited to be able to do more seminars, workshops, and hikes and all sorts of things here to just
Yeah.
continue that community growth.
I'm really excited, and you'll be noticing that more events are going to be planned in the future, and we have something coming up at the end of March that I'm excited about. Won't always be hikes; there will be other events as well. But
Yeah.
if you have ideas of something that you think, oh, this would be really fun to do at Legacy, I'm all ears and open to suggestions and ideas that members have on things that you think might be fun to do together as a community.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Reach out, let your coaches know, and we're taking advantage of the weather right now with hikes because it's, obviously in the next couple months, it's going to be a little too toasty. But that said, yeah, we've got some really cool things in the works for the rest of this year for everybody. So awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else that we should hit on right now?
I think we've touched on everything. I think it's really important for people to remember that health is not just physical, it's emotional, it's social, and it's connection.
Yeah. Amazing. Mic drop. Love that. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with more great stuff.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.